Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is it. Guys, this is the final one. The last one. As they say, all good things must come to an end. Okay? They must. They can't go on forever. Yeah, it's just a human condition. And it's been a good run. I'll admit. It's been a very, very good run. There's been ups, there's been downs. There's been sideways. But, yeah. All right. So today, ladies and gentlemen, is my final consecutive streaming day for the week because tomorrow's my day off. So I hope that you've enjoyed this streaming week. I hope that you've had a great time with me. Welcome to the PreStream podcast. Today is Tuesday, the 28th of June, 2022. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're ready for some gaming fun and some goodness. I am excited for a fun and full day of gameplay streaming with all of you. Today is actually a momentous occasion because today, not only will we be continuing on with some Sonic retro fun, not only will we be talking about the Nintendo Direct Mini that happened this morning, but tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the late stream, finally, it is the conclusion of Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Finally. I've been playing the game since the Christmas Marathon, which was, I think it was like just before Christmas Eve or on Christmas Eve of last year. So 6 months, an ongoing playthrough, 140 hours of gameplay. We are finally completing Skyrim tonight, okay? And certainly it's been a really epic playthrough for me because not only was it a throwback to a game that I had played over 10 years ago and remembered loving. Like, that was the game that back in the day, I used to rush through games. I used to, like, get a new game, try to beat it within a few days so that, number one, I could get the first full playthrough of it up on the internet, and number two, I could return the game to the store to get great trade-in value at GameStop. I used to actually beat games within a few days and trade in 3 at a time and get, like, ridiculous bonus trade-in values, okay? Of course, this was a long time ago. They don't do that kind of stuff anymore. So, with Skyrim, it was different. With Skyrim, I started playing this game, and I got so immersed in this open-world RPG. And there was just so much to do, you know, between guild missions, side missions, main quest lines, just getting lost in the world, walking around for hours on end, just exploring caves and stuff, right? So basically, it was the first game I didn't rush. Honestly, I had no pressure to really finish it. I remember it came out late November? It was either late November or early December of 2011, right? And I ended up playing it, you know, over a month. Now, keep in mind, back then, I wasn't the kind of guy who juggled a bunch of games. Today, that's my shtick. I'm a variety streamer. I balance a wide variety of stuff at any given time so you don't get bored of the same thing over and over, right? But back then, I would actually play a game pretty much start to finish and nonstop. And I remember Skyrim was the game I was playing as my main game, you know, for an extended period of time. And at that time, it was my longest playthrough. So it was pretty meaningful to me after all these years to come back to it because, you know, Skyrim has been memed left, right, up, down, all around as the game that has basically been remade more than any other game, right? If you take a look at Skyrim, you know, you could get it on PC or you could get it on Xbox 360 or PS3, right? Then you could get it on PS4. Then you could get it on Xbox One. Then you could get it on Nintendo consoles. Yes, it's available on the Switch. Then they ported it again as a special edition with extra content and all of that, right? And then they ported it again as the anniversary edition, this time with added Creation Club content. So literally when you multiply all that times like 3, because it's on 3 different consoles and PC, it's like there's 17, 18 versions of this game that have been re-released over the last decade. But this was the first time that I ever replayed it. I purposely held off from replaying Skyrim because I knew when I did it, I wanted it to be meaningful. And I knew when I did it, I wanted it to be at a right time. And this anniversary collection, or excuse me, anniversary edition that came out, I really felt this was the best time to do it, because not only was I getting all this new Creation Club content in the game, which was very fun to do, by the way, but also I was taking advantage of the power of my Xbox Series X running the game at full 60 frames, which is how I played it on PC back in the day. Last thing I would want to do is do another playthrough of the game that looked worse than the original, right? And also, we were at a time of the year outside of February, March, which were very, very release heavy. This was a great game for downtime. In January, this was my major game, and I played it a ton as major streams, and people absolutely loved it. Now, here's the thing. As with any project, any ongoing series, or any game, once you play it a certain amount, it kind of gets played out, all right? I've been playing Skyrim now for 6 freaking months. Can you even tell me another game in history that I have played over a course of 6 months? Outside of, say, fighting games or Call of Duty, where that's multiplayer sessions, if you're talking an online or an ongoing narrative playthrough, have I ever played a game like this for 6 months before? And the answer you will find is yes, Persona 5. Persona 5 is the other exception to the rule, but that was kind of a weird situation, because in Persona 5, I had to actually stop playing the game and resume it a year later because of false copyright strikes from Atlas that got cleared up over time. So that's the one exception, but there was a giant hiatus there between when I started playing the game and when I actually finished it. If you want to talk about overall consecutive time, like back-to-back playing a game, yeah, this is the longest running playthrough I've actually ever done, 6 months. I've never had it go 6 months before, right? Pretty crazy. Ross G says, Lost Judgment, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Dragon Quest 11 are 7-month-long playthroughs. It's completely false. No way. It's absolutely false. Lost Judgment came out in October. We beat it in December, January. Yakuza Like a Dragon came out in November, December. We beat it in like January, February. And Dragon Quest 11, same thing. They were all like 3-month playthroughs. I don't know where you're getting 7 months. That's terrible, terrible time calculation. You need to learn how to read a calendar. I'm not trying to be a dick, but those are all completely wrong. Every one you said was wrong. Okay. That's right, Matt. And it wasn't even Persona 5 Royal that I played. It was the original. That's right. Okay. Anyway. So, tonight on the late stream, we're finally finishing Skyrim. All that's left is to continue the story, get the final Dragon Priest mask that you get along with the story, use that to go to the secret area of Labyrinthian, I think it's like a time warp, to get the final ultimate mask, and then beat the game. There are a few other odds and ends I haven't done, but I'm not doing every single piece of content in the game. I did my best to do every piece of meaningful content. What does disappoint me is that there's certain anniversary content I couldn't do because the game glitched and locked me out of it. And that actually pisses me off because this is supposed to be like the 10-year anniversary. Let me have all the content, and some of it messed up along the way. But for the most part, doing both DLCs, all of the guilds, most of, if not all of the major side quests, you know, we've pretty much stick a fork in this sucker. It's done. Let's move on. And the thing is, there's other RPGs we want to do, right? There's new RPGs, or not new, but replacement RPGs, for example. Either Earthbound or Final Fantasy VII, the original. I would like to play either game. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. We kind of have to talk about it over this week to determine that. But I'm craving another game. And I'm, honestly, have I really enjoyed Skyrim? Absolutely. Skyrim has been treated like our ultimate chill sessions. And what I mean by that is, when we just want to have a relaxing time, we want to unwind from any stress or any kind of crazy difficult game I've been playing, for example, Elden Ring. You want to get something different in the mix where there's no real high-level challenge. It's kind of fun and silly, and we can interact a lot. That's the thing. When I play Skyrim, we talk a ton, right? We have tons of conversation. That's one of the major points of playing the game, is that it allows you to have that kind of interaction and conversation with the audience, as opposed to other games where they're so intention demanding. When I'm playing, oh my god, I can't look away for a second or I'm going to die. When I'm playing Skyrim, I could just chill with you guys, I really, really enjoyed that. The other thing is, whatever RPG I play next, whether it's Earthbound or Final Fantasy VII, those will also have that same vibe. Being that they're turn-based RPGs, I'll be able to relax a bit. Rather than be hyper-focused on the game, I'll be able to have more interactions with you guys. So don't worry, that style of stream is not going away. It's just that it's not going to be Skyrim anymore. It's going to be something different, okay? So, what a momentous day, right? And we have a bunch of new projects coming up, including Viewer's Choice, including a React Marathon Day, including Ask the King, right? Some good new stuff coming up that should be exciting and fun. It's good to always feel like you're hitting a new month because July's right around the corner, just a few days away, and then we're going to be starting up new content. That's always a good thing. It feels refreshing when you hit a new month. You got new things happening around you, right? All right, so where do we even start today? Like, seriously, where do we start? I guess what we'll do, let's briefly go through the schedule. Let's talk about a few odds and ends, like the Viewer's Choice. Let's talk about some of the upcoming events. And then let's talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened today. There's a couple of announcements in there. I'll be honest, it's not the most amazing event ever. Holy shit, I can't imagine anyone getting up at 6 fucking a.m. for this thing. Obviously, the timing of these Nintendo Directs is for Europe. It's gotta be. Who's up 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern to watch a Nintendo Direct about third-party games, and most of the announcements are things we already knew were coming out. We just didn't know they were being ported to the Switch. Like, holy shit, you want to talk about crap timing. Like, if you're up at 6 a.m., you're up for a good reason. Like, oh, I have work, so I have to get ready for my job today. You're not up at 6 a.m. to watch a fucking Nintendo Direct, you know? Okay. Anyway. I'm slapping my legs. First of all, it's nice and cool here today in Washington State. After an entire weekend of 90-plus degree weather Fahrenheit, we've cooled down today, which is a good thing. I only have my fan on for now. I will likely turn on the air conditioner during the course of this stream. But it's nice to actually be able to, like, cool the jets after being overheated all weekend. Although I will say this. I'm very happy, and here's why. For the first time ever, in the entirety of the time that I have lived in Washington State, I finally have enough air conditioning in my home to handle extreme heat during the summer. We had 90-plus degree weather this weekend. Normally when this happens, this house heats up, and it's very uncomfortable. This year, we have enough air conditioning. The house was cool the entire time. I mean, we had 3 air conditioners blasting, okay? Blasting over the course of this whole weekend to keep the cool in, and it worked. And now I can cool it down. Now I just turn them on fan or off, which is good. So I'm very pleased. It only took 8 years of me sweating it out all summer to get to a point where I don't sweat it out all summer. Hallelujah. But we got there, okay? Finally. And no, for the millionth time, Terry Tate, no, we don't have central air. No one in Washington State has central air unless they paid exorbitant amounts to have it installed. The homes out here are built for moderate climate, not for extreme heat or extreme cold. They're built for temperatures in the middle, because that's typically what we have. It's only in recent years with global warming that we started to have extreme summer temperatures that we're not quick to handle it, okay? When I first moved here, that first year, it was so hot during the summer, I called a professional to come look at my setup in my home. And they inspected the whole thing from top to bottom. And they said, your home was not built for central air. Even if you bought a central air conditioning unit right now and installed it, it wouldn't work. You'd only get it downstairs. It would never reach your top floor because the ventilation system isn't built for that. This house is a completely different build. You would have to redo your vent and duct system from the ground up. Minimum, it would cost $10,000. But he was estimating it would be between $10,000 to $15,000 to redo the ductwork in the house and have central air. Guess what I can't afford, right? Maybe someday, maybe in years and years to come, I'll be able to afford something like that. Right now, no. Okay? So thank goodness, like I said, this year for the first time, between 3 different air conditioning units that we now have, we were able to keep the house cool. And I think we're more well-equipped now to handle any kind of crazy heat wave, which is a good thing. All right. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the schedule. So today, I kind of already alluded to what we're doing. On the first stream, it's more Sonic Origins. Now, a quick reminder. Whenever I play Sonic Origins, the Sonic the Hedgehog hat is in play to be worn. It hasn't been worn yet, and I've played Sonic Origins now 2 times. Yeah, right? Yes. I beat Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic CD, and we're now into Sonic 2. Okay? Wait, 2 times or 3 times? 2 times. Today's number 3. That's right. Today is number 3. Okay. Remember, if you support the Sonic streams and we hit a new tier 4 support goal, $200 in tips, I will put on the Sonic cap for the rest of the stream. Okay? Hasn't happened yet. In fact, we haven't even come close. All right? So, Alduin gets to wear the Sonic hat for now. And it sure would be great. I'm just saying. It sure would be great. All right? It sure would be great if we could hit that today. It would help me certainly for my day off tomorrow. Any support today would be well appreciated with tips, but hitting that would be superb and help me out for tomorrow's day off. Okay? All right. So, yes, it is time for Sonic Origins. What are we doing in Sonic Origins today? We're doing the second half of Sonic 2. We beat the first 4 stages, and I got all the Chaos Emeralds. So this means whenever we hit, I think it's 50. Is it 50 rings? Whenever we hit like 50 to 100 rings, I'll be able to transform into Super Sonic. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. I'll be able to turn into Super Sonic and see how that works, because I remember it not being particularly too great. I'm just being honest. Like, I remember in Sonic 2, you could do this, and I'd done this before, but it always kind of had some issues. And what I mean by that is, like, I remember kind of, like, glitches the game out a little bit. It's not exactly perfect. I guess we'll see how it works in this collection, if they've refined it or fixed it or whatever. But anyway, second half of Sonic 2 is outstanding, and apparently there's a new secret level that's in the game that I'm not aware of. I guess people said Mystic Cave Zone. We have to find a way to get to it. So I hope you guys will help me find out. I'd love to do the new stage or whatever. And then once we beat Sonic 2, which likely we're going to do during this stream, we're going to start up Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a combination of 2 different games, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. They were sold as 2 separate games, although they were basically designed as one super game, okay? When you bought them both, you could combine one into the other to make Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is an amalgamation of both games into one, where you could play both as Sonic and Knuckles in both games and traverse areas and do all kinds of fun stuff. There was also the ability to plug the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 cartridge into Sonic and Knuckles, and that added other new features to the game as well, I remember. So, ladies and gents, Sonic Origins fun today. Continuing on, Sonic 2 is my favorite game in the whole franchise, but admittedly, I've barely ever played Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I rented each of them maybe once or twice over the years and played them, but I never owned them. So I've only had a little bit of exposure to the games. It'll feel more like a full new playthrough to me when I'm playing Sonic and Knuckles in this collection, okay? So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. Tonight, as I've already mentioned, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it's the big finale of Skyrim. If you guys have been along for the ride at any point in the last 6 months, I hope you will join me tonight for the Skyrim finale and give it a proper send-off and say goodbye to the open world of the Elder Scrolls for now. Not forever, but for now, because I'm sure eventually you guys are going to want me to play Oblivion, judging by the reaction you guys had to me checking out Oblivion for like 10 minutes on PlayStation Plus Premium last week. I get the feeling people want to see me play it. Now, I'm not promising it anytime soon. I mean, it was a 6-month playthrough of Skyrim. I think we need to give Elder Scrolls a break. But eventually, we will likely get to it, okay? Okay, so that's tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. I hope you'll be here, the final send-off of Skyrim, okay? Tomorrow, I'm off from streaming, so I hope that you all have a safe and fun day, whatever it is that you may do. If you choose to get caught up on my content during my day off, enjoy. Remember that doing things like liking videos, leaving comments on them, helps for engagement of this channel. I'll be honest, I've noticed recently that stuff is a little bit on the downturn, but I know why. I'm doing all retro content. When I'm doing all retro content, all right, there's not a grouping of people coming to the channel to watch hot new releases. Usually when I play a new release, likes are up, comments are up, overall engagement on the channel is up. When I'm doing downtime, summertime, retro style content, that stuff's going to slow down. It is what it is. You know, I can't affect that. I can't make games release, right? So, just please remember, if you are happening to watch my content on demand, especially on my day off, please remember to engage with the content because it helps out this channel, okay? Now, when I return on Thursday, we got something new. When I return on Thursday, it is Cuphead, the Delicious Last Course DLC. Yes, a DLC 5 freaking years in the making. It took them 5 years to come out with this Cuphead DLC. I'm going to have to re-download Cuphead on my Xbox Series X. I don't even know if the save file is available in the cloud. So I might download this thing and have to start from scratch. I don't know how the DLC works. I guess we're going to find out together. If I have to replay the game from scratch, I guess that's not that bad because it's not a super long game. Maybe it would take me a couple of streams to get through it again. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. 5 years is a long time, and I don't really know what happened with my game save files and shit from back then. I guess we're going to see. Anyway. Yes. The DLC comes out on Thursday, and I'll be playing it. If I have to replay the base game, I will too. But the DLC is supposedly only 4 hours long. So, not that lengthy of a deal, but maybe a couple streams. Okay? Then, on the late stream on Thursday, we're going to do some more Castlevania Anniversary Collection. We're currently in Castlevania 3, which I really like, although it is very, very difficult. I'm really enjoying it. Here's why. Because it plays like classic Castlevania. Unlike Simon's Quest, that basically turns Castlevania into a confusing, cryptic, open-world RPG that basically is a grind and it really sucks, this game feels like Castlevania again. Challenging enemies, jumps, setups. You get to play multiple characters in this one, which is kind of neat. I like that. So I'm having a good time with it, and I can't wait for more. And oh my god, the music is so good. So more of that on Thursday night, okay? Then on Friday, the main gameplay stream will be Sonic Origins again, and I'm kind of stating it as the possible conclusion. I'm not sure, because it's really going to determine today's stream of Sonic Origins will determine how long or how far we're into the game, and if it's possible to beat it on Friday. The thing is, Sonic and Knuckles, like I said, is essentially 2 Sonic games in one. You know, it's Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles into one super lengthy game, and it's going to be fun to do it, but it may take longer than the other games. The other games, it looks like it's been taking around roughly 2.5 hours to get through, if that, maybe a little less. So this one, since it's a double game, is probably going to take maybe 4 to 5 hours to beat. So if I only get to play it for like an hour today, maybe it's going to take 2 more streams to beat. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. But Friday, the main stream is Sonic Origins again, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Then on Friday night, it is Friday Night Fights, returning to the regularly rotating schedule. And it will be, this time around, the Capcom Fighting Collection. Now, what we may do, okay, what we may do is test the Xbox version. I know. We tried playing the Xbox version online on Saturday night and couldn't find anyone. That's not a good sign. Since I've played the PlayStation version, we've found nonstop competition. Okay? But maybe what I would like to do is give the Xbox version a test and see if we can find people in it on Friday night just for testing purposes. Thing is, I really like playing on my Xbox because I have a newer joystick. It's the Hori Stick Fighting Alpha. The Hori Fighting Stick Alpha. That's a much better, well, I don't want to say it's much better, but it's much newer than my other joystick, the Hori Real Arcade Pro 4, that I've been playing on for like 6 years on my PlayStation. Obviously, I like playing on the newer joystick, and I was hoping to find a variety of opponents owning both versions of this game. So far, that hasn't happened, but maybe we should give it a shot on Friday night and see if we can find more people to play on Xbox, and if we can, great, and if not, switch back over to the PlayStation for that segment, okay? Is it PS4 or Xbox One? That's correct, the villain. They're both, those are the versions of the game. You got Capcom Fighting Collection on PS4 or Xbox One. My joysticks, the Real Arcade Pro 4 works on PS4, and because of that, works on PS5. The Hori Fight Stick Pro Alpha, I think, only works on the Series X. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Series S and Series X. Maybe it does work on Xbox One, but I haven't tried it. I mean, there's no reason to go back to Xbox One if you have a Series S and X, right? Yes, D-Man Games. I spent $80. I bought the same game twice because people wanted me to have it on both consoles for maximum coverage to play as many people as possible. But sadly, it doesn't look like many people bought it on Xbox, okay? So we'll see. Let's see what happens Friday night, okay? Now, for the rest of the weekend, I'm currently leaving it open, all right? I'm not going to commit to doing anything in particular for this weekend right now. All right, and here's why. We have a few options of things to do, all right? I can focus more in on Castlevania to try to get further in it because we still have to beat Castlevania 3. Then we have Castlevania 4, or also known as Super Castlevania on the SNES, okay? Cool if we do that. But maybe we want something new. And like I said, once we beat Skyrim, there's no ongoing RPG anymore. We need an ongoing RPG. What should I do? Well, think about it. It's like, well, let's think about this. There's a couple RPGs I've been talking about that I want to play. And I'm considering either Earthbound or Final Fantasy VII. Okay? Either one I think would be a good summertime RPG playthrough. Final Fantasy VII is way longer than Earthbound. Earthbound, from what I remember, is a shorter game. I think it's around 20 hours long. So not that lengthy. I'd probably beat it in a couple of weeks. As opposed to Final Fantasy VII, that's a lengthy-ass Final Fantasy game. And that one will likely take us all through July and probably all through August. And we'll probably beat it around mid to late August if I'm playing it regularly in the schedule, you see. Keep in mind, there'll be no Skyrim. So anytime that I used to play Skyrim would be this RPG. Plus, I'll probably have a few daytime streams of it as well. So, right now, there seems to be kind of a split. Some of my viewers want Earthbound. Some of them want Final Fantasy VII. And I hear you, because I think they would both be great playthroughs. With Earthbound, I played it once before. Okay? But it was 9 years ago, and this was when I had just become a live streamer, and I was not doing interactive content with my audience. I was not discussing the game with you guys. It was more like me playing it for myself and still doing kind of an offline playthrough for YouTube. Doing an interactive playthrough of Earthbound would be dramatically different than my first playthrough for sure, okay? Final Fantasy VII, I have never played for the internet before, ever. In fact, I have not even played Final Fantasy VII since the early 2000s, okay? I played it when it was a new release, and then I got it on PC later on, and I played it on PC a couple times. The gameplay, the gameplay of Final Fantasy VII I really like. The turn-based gameplay, the limit break system, the materia system, I enjoy all of that. The story, not so much. I never really liked the story of Final Fantasy VII, but here's the thing. I haven't played it in a long time. Maybe if I played Final Fantasy VII with you guys as an interactive playthrough, maybe I'd appreciate it a little more. Also, I don't remember a lot about the second half of the game. I remember some of it, but not all of it. So I think it would be an interesting and unique opportunity to play something like that over the course of the summer. So here's the thing. I'm still undecided. I still don't know if I want to do Earthbound or Final Fantasy VII. Let's continue to talk about it over the course of this week and try to figure it out together, okay? Now, in addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are currently voting right now for the upcoming Viewer's Choice playthrough, all right? Now, the poll went live 2 days ago. And I am here to give you an update on said poll, all right? Here are the games that are eligible for Viewer's Choice, and these were games you nominated, not me, games that you guys nominated, all right? Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered, Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link, Fable Anniversary Edition, Jack 2, and BioShock Infinite, okay? Currently, we basically have a very close contest between 3 of the games. 2 of the games, sadly, unless there's a humongous shift in the voting, don't look like they have much of a chance. Jack 2 currently only has 11% of the votes, while BioShock Infinite has 15. They are not even close to the other 3, so I'm gonna say likely you could write those off unless hundreds of people come out of the woodwork out of nowhere and start voting for those games. It doesn't look like they're going to be in the running, okay? So, what does that leave us with? Batman Arkham Asylum is currently at 24%. Zelda 2 is currently at 27%. And Fable Anniversary Edition is currently at 23%. That's not a big differential between them. And 1,800 people so far have voted. So 1% would be 18 people. If these are only 2 or 3% apart, you're talking maybe 20, 30 people vote, the whole poll could shift. You see? In addition, I don't know if you guys knew this, on YouTube polls, I don't know why this is possible, you could change your vote. So there may be people who voted for Jack 2 and BioShock Infinite who realize, oh crap, those games are totally not going to win. And they might change their vote over to be one of the other 3 games that is in the running to basically win it all. You see? It's possible people could do that, and I can't stop that. That's just how YouTube polling works. So, Right now, that's where we're at. Zelda 2 is in the lead by just a few percent. All right? Batman is in second place, but only by 1% over Fable Anniversary Edition. Now, I also want to reiterate something to you guys because I think there's a misconception about this event. Just because a game is in the lead does not mean that is the only game that I'm playing over the course of this summer. In fact, I would go as far to say it's actually quite the opposite. Since we have a good variety of games in this poll, likely what I will do is play not one but maybe two of the games that are in the running. So likely, you know, we start off with whatever wins and then whatever second place we play as well. The thing is about Zelda 2, if Zelda 2 wins, all right, it's not a super lengthy game. It's an NES game. NES games are just not long. So I might beat Zelda 2 within a few streams and now, okay, let's move on to the next. You see? So I guess we'll see how it goes, but please continue to vote. How do you vote if you haven't yet? Go to the main channel page of DSP Gaming right here on YouTube. Go to the community tab, scroll down. Several posts down, you'll find the poll. Please vote on said poll. I really wish there was the ability to pin a poll. To my knowledge, there is not. So I can't just have it like stuck. I wish I could stick it, but I don't think you can. So, there you have it. Please vote, all right? And what we'll do is we'll have people voting over the course of this week. By the time this weekend hits, we will likely figure this out and start getting these games into the rotation. Because here's the thing. I'm going to beat Skyrim today. We're going to beat Sonic within 1 to 2 more sessions. Maybe 3 tops. So within the next week, there's 2 games out of the rotation. We have things freed up. Now, I'm not just going to be playing Capcom Fighting Collection constantly with Castlevania. We need other stuff. So that's the thing. We're going to have some variety once we get these games selected. All right? And then, like I said, in addition to that, I'm looking for an RPG to add to the mix. So we're going to have an RPG, 1 or 2 viewers' choice games, finishing up Castlevania, and the Capcom Fighting Collection. That's a good variety. Oh, by the way, Cuphead, but that I don't think Cuphead's going to take too long, but that'll also be being played. So we got good variety of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, okay? Good stuff. Outside of that, we also have other special events coming up. I've already announced this, but I'll keep reiterating it so people remember. We're going to have a special marathon event coming up the weekend of either July 9th or 10th. It's either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't set the date yet. But one of those days, we're going to have a marathon event where I'm going to do React content. It's not determined what I'm doing yet. I don't know if you guys want to see me do, if you want to see me do react to another documentary style video, or if you want to see me react to say something different, like a supernatural documentary or a true crime story or something like that. Something different. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're not there yet. Probably that first week of July we will plan and figure out what exactly I'm doing. There's also going to be a Feasting with the King episode during that marathon. And there's also going to be a new WWE 2K22 over-the-top rope 30-man fantasy battle royale match. All right? Lots going on. Hank, no, I did not play Final Fantasy VII in April 2020. You're talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Completely different game. The remake is a game they remade that's completely different from the original. It starts off similar, but man, is it a different game. I never played the original game, Hank. Okay. So, that's coming up. And then in addition to all of that, all right, Ask the King is coming up. And Ask the King is going to be that first week of July. I think it would be July 7th. Makes sense. That would be the first Thursday in July. Yes. My Q&A show, Ask the King, is returning. All right? And that's going to be fun. I love answering your questions. If you have not asked your questions yet, please do. Type exclamation point, Ask the King into the chat. It brings up the link. Click on that link. Go to the forum thread. Post up your questions. The more questions I have for the show, the better the show is. If you're interested in getting your questions answered for sure on the show, if you're wondering what's the difference between Ask the King and a normal day when I ask Phil a question on a stream. When you ask me a question for Ask the King, I take time to get in depth into an answer. I actually let an answer formulate in my head rather than just answering on the fly. On any average stream, I'll take maybe a minute to answer your question. On Ask the King, I can take upwards of 20 minutes to answer a question. You see the difference? So if you want a detailed, informed answer to a question, you want to ask it on Ask the King. And if you pledge if you pledge $20 or more to my Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. You will be guaranteed to get your question answered on the show because you're going to have a special place to post up your questions on the forums ahead of time that I will answer, okay? So, post up your questions if you haven't, and consider pledging to my Patreon if you would like to get your question answered for sure, in-depth on the show, okay? So we've got all this stuff coming up. Good variety of stuff in the next few weeks for sure. New releases will begin to hit in mid-July. We just got to get there, okay? All right. Outside of all of that, you may have noticed our memberships went down again. What's happening is now, there were a few times in late June, there were a few times in late May where people gifted memberships to try to hit the monthly goal. We're going to see a big dip in memberships within the next few days. In fact, I think it's scheduled either for July 1st or July 2nd. One of those days, we're going to see a dip. And there's nothing that can happen, nothing can be done about that. All right? What I would hope is that for some of you who maybe had the ability to enjoy your gifted membership over the last month, if you liked it, you would consider renewing it, because that's how this channel sees growth. It's nice to get the gifted memberships, but they don't last. However, when you get that free trial, some people enjoy it enough that they say, hey, I want to actually renew my membership and keep it going. And that's really awesome because that adds to the real growth of the channel long term. In addition, I'm sure that once we see some of these memberships expire, there's going to be some people who are going to say, hey, I want to do something nice for the community. Let me just go ahead and gift some more. So some of them will likely be coming back. Be sure to have your gifted memberships enabled so that if someone does come in here and gift memberships, you can take advantage of that and not get left out, okay? Following up with that thought, this is a pretty funny story here. YouTube recently apparently updated their code again, which they do all the time, and every time they do, they screw something up. Two funny things have started happening. First of all, now when I turn on my streams, okay, it's so funny. When I turn on my streams, okay, YouTube now has a pop-up that says, hey, now would be a good time for you to run some ads and make money on this stream. But I just turned it on. The stream's not even been on for 5 minutes. Like this morning, I turned on the stream. There were like 25 people on the stream because I just turned it on. And then this giant intrusive pop-up pops up on my screen. Hey, make some money on YouTube. Run some ads right now. And this is funny because I've been getting emails recently from YouTube as well. Join in this seminar, how to make more money on YouTube. Don't you want to know how to make more money on this website? And it's like, yeah, I tell you how you make more money. Actually fucking improve your website. Put in new features, either to monetize or incentivize monetization. Make it so that people can get a free membership if they become a YouTube premium subscriber, just like you can get when you become a Twitch Prime subscriber. Like, there's all these things they could do, but instead they think, oh, how do we make more money? Put intrusive pop-ups on people's streams asking them to run ads within the first few seconds of turning their stream on. Now, in addition to that, the thing that gets me is, you would think if they were going to do that, if there's going to be an intrusive pop-up, why not wait for the stream to have a lot of people, right? Like, why not wait for the stream to be at, oh, this is the highest it's had all day of viewers. Let's now tell the streamer to run an ad. Instead, it tells you within like a minute of streaming to do it because they're idiots. They don't even know what they're doing. They probably coded it wrong. The other thing that's funny, this morning I turn on my stream and I come over here and I sit down at my laptop and I open up the chat on my laptop and there's a pop-up. You enable gifted memberships. Click here so you can receive a gifted membership on DSPGaming. I'm the owner and I'm the streamer. What are you, stupid? The answer is yes, they are. Like I said, they basically recoded the site and they fucked everything up. They now have it popping up for the actual streamer themselves to enable gifted memberships for their own channel. Just another day in the life of being a YouTuber dealing with this nonsense. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Nintendo Direct that happened this morning. I'll be honest, not that much happened. I'm glad I wasn't up at fucking 6 a.m. to watch this stupid thing. Nintendo Directs are either really, really good or really underwhelming. This one, depending on your expectations and what you're a fan of, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. Mostly what was announced at this Nintendo Direct was a bunch of ports, meaning games we already knew were coming out, but now kind of confirmation that they would be coming out on the Switch. So, for example, the Persona Collection, Persona 3, 4, and 5, which are being, released for Xbox and also for PlayStation 5. Now we're also going to be released on the Switch. Okay. I mean, that's cool if you want them in a handheld version. That's nice, I guess. You want to play them on the Switch? Yeah, why not? In fact, years and years and years and years ago, when I first got my fucking Switch, it was one of the things we were discussing, is why don't they have a portable like Persona 5 on there? Remember, Kat had played Persona 4 Golden on my PS Vita at the time, and she wanted to play Persona 5 at the time, but she wanted a portable version, and they just never released it on the Switch at that time. I mean, that was so many years ago. It's kind of weird that here we are years and years, so many years later, and now they decided they're going to do it. It's like a little late, no? Like, people would have probably bought it way more if it came out years ago, but I don't know. They just take their time with this stuff, I guess. Now, also, what was I going to say? Another example of this, we kind of knew it was already coming out, but now it's coming out on Switch. Nier Automata. Nier Automata's been out for every single console except the Nintendo console. It's finally coming out. I think it's like October. Sometime in October, Nier Automata is coming out for Switch. So, if you're one of the few people who didn't play it because you're a Nintendo-only gamer, now you can experience it on the Switch coming in October. Okay. Now, let's talk about some of the stuff that's a little newer, I guess I would say. So, first of all, there's a Mega Man Battle Network collection coming out. I guess it's like 10 freaking games. Here's the thing about Mega Man Battle Network, okay? I've never played one of them, so I'm not going to crap on the series and say anything negative about it, because when you have not played it, you have no frame of reference, okay? I would be a pretty ignorant idiot to sit here and say, Mega Man Battle Network, who cares about that? Those games are a bunch of shit for kids. That would be dumb. That would be like my old Phil self talking shit about Minecraft. Remember when I used to say dumb shit like that about Minecraft? In my mind, for some odd reason, I have this belief that the Mega Man Battle Network games, number one, don't play anything like Mega Man. Number two, don't even really have ties to the Mega Man franchise. And number three, are kind of for kids. Okay? I don't know. I can't confirm that because I never played one. All I've ever seen is coverage of them on the internet, or back, I used to read game magazines and I would see articles about these games in the game magazines. But this is all out of context beliefs. Okay? I don't know if this is true or not because I've never played one of the games. All right? Personally, I love the classic Mega Mans, all right? I like side-scrolling action. I like platforming. I like the bleeps and the bloops of the old-school music. I like the Robot Masters. That's what I like, okay? I don't think that that's possible in Mega Man Battle Network, right? Isn't it completely different? Isn't it a completely different style of game? And essentially, like, I remember when they started coming out, I felt to myself, this is similar to, say, Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. Here's an opportunity where we want to make something, but we want to cash in on the name of something else in order to get people to buy it. So make a movie that has nothing to do with Final Fantasy, but slap the Final Fantasy name on it so people will go see it in theaters and then be disappointed because it's not Final Fantasy. Mega Man Battle Network, at least again, in my narrow-minded belief system of not having played them, is not Mega Man. It's a new franchise they wanted to create. In the 2000s, they wanted to have a line of handheld games, Game Boy Advance. I think later on they were on the DS, right? And they basically wanted to have some kind of name recognition for the franchise to get people to buy it, so they called it Mega Man Battle Network. They could have literally just called it Battle Network, and it would have been the same thing because it's not Mega Man, right? It's just not Mega Man. There's no Mega Man gameplay. Where's the Mega Man in this? Besides, we put the helmet on it, they have maybe a cannon on their arm or whatever. They're trying to basically spin off of Mega Man in a really silly way, in my opinion, okay? But I've never played them. So this is all out of context, and if you've played them and you like them, I'm not going to hate on you because maybe there's some really good validity to them. Maybe they are addictive. Maybe they're fun. I don't know because I never played them. For me, it's annoying because I grew up playing Mega Man games, and when I heard, Mega Man Battle Network, that means there's new Mega Man games out, right? And I looked into them, I was like, this is fucking Mega Man. This is nothing like Mega Man. What is this shit? So I never played them, you see? So anyway, there is a collection of Mega Man Battle Network games coming out next year, like 10 of them for the Switch. Now, I don't know if they're all going to be in one game or two. I was looking online and they're like, oh, these collections are already available digitally. I was like, what? What does that mean? Then is it really coming out next year? I'm confused. But anyway, that's coming to the Switch. That was one of the announcements. There's a few other announcements there that were kind of tossed in. Like there's a new game called like Harvestella or something like that. And people are like, oh, look, it's like Harvest Moon or what was the other one that came out that everyone wanted me to play, and I played it once, but I never went back to it. It's like a chill farming game. I can't remember what the hell the name of it is, okay? But anyway, they're kind of saying it looks like kind of like that, only you control a woman, and she runs around and she farms and stuff. I don't know. But anyway, you know, it's neither here nor there. It might be good, it might not be. I don't know. But Stardew Valley, that's it. Thank you, Stardew Valley. That was the one. Yes. So, I don't know if I'll be interested in that. Though there's one thing in this entire Nintendo Direct, which is a bunch of there's a Bomberman is coming back in 2023. Whoopity doopity. I'd never played a Bomberman game before. For me, the one thing that actually caught my attention, okay, the one thing that actually made me a little excited. Apparently, I didn't screen cap it. I thought I did. A game that you guys have actually brought up over the years and mentioned on my streams, asking me if I would ever play it, to which I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what it is, and I've never played it. I don't know if it's viable. And basically, people have always said it's not. They always said this game was never available for any kind of a modern console. The game that I'm talking about. Pac-Man World! So I guess Pac-World or Pac-Man World was a 3D platformer starring Pac-Man that came out in the PlayStation 1 era. And a lot of people have actually said that this is a nostalgic game for them. Like, this is one of their games from their childhood that they bought and played. And they loved it. And it was funny because, like, recently I just played the Pac-Man Museum Plus collection. And people were like, oh my god, is Pac-Man World in there? We can't wait to see Phil play Pac-Man World. And it wasn't in there. It was just basically, like, classic-style Pac-Man games. So, I don't know anything about it. I've never played it. So I can't say, oh, it's good or it's bad or it's up or it's down or it's whatever, right? I'm interested in it. I'd like to maybe play it. And it's actually coming out at the end of August. Okay? So I actually added that to my release schedule. I think it's like August 26th or something like that. That I might play it. It might be a good way to lead into the fall. Alright? So that was the Direct. There wasn't that much to it. It was kind of like a lot of odds and ends and a lot of like weird announcements. So by the way, since now we actually have opportunity for me to kind of sit down and look at games coming up for the next couple of months, I'd like to go through that with you briefly before we go to Q&A here on the stream and shoutouts. What about Return to Monkey Island? We already knew that was coming out. That wasn't even an announcement for the Direct. We already knew there was a new Monkey Island game in development. So it's really not even an announcement. They just kind of announced, oh, it's on Switch too. Okay. All right. Here's the games that are coming out. First of all, there's a game that came out the other day that I skipped because I was doing a wait-and-see attitude. And I would like to give you guys an update on said game because I have now received information about the game that I'd like to share with all of you. The name of the game is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This is a game that is a follow-up / reimagining / sequel / I don't even know what to really call it. Basically, if you liked Fire Emblem 3 Houses, this game is a love letter to you because this game is a hybrid. It's got RPG elements in it similar to the original Fire Emblem 3 Houses, but instead of having the grid-based RPG style turn-based combat, it has Musou-based combat, meaning it plays like Dynasty Warriors, okay? Now, someone, and shout out to this person, they don't want to be mentioned, they sent me an in-depth coverage of this game because they bought it and played it and wanted me to know exactly what the game was like to determine if it's something that I'd be interested in playing or not. So allow me to describe it to all of you, all right? So the game will have the ability to make critical plot choices, to side with certain groups, and to actually have more fleshed out stories for some of the characters that were in the original Fire Emblem Three Houses that really didn't get a lot of time to shine. In fact, I guess this game more focuses a lot more on the periphery characters of Fire Emblem Three Houses as opposed to the main characters who drove the story of the game. Remember, there was like one person who was in charge of each house. And you could follow their plot lines, and that could determine the course of the game. So I guess, you know, a little different than that, all right? Because of who it follows, and I guess you play a character who's like a neutral character that could like get involved with any of the three houses. I guess I'm not exactly sure, but basically the game still retains the kind of exploration, the kind of interaction, and the kind of choice elements as Fire Emblem Three Houses did. Okay, it has that RPG element to it, but the combat is definitely Musu combat, running around with giant armies, fighting against other groups. Now, from what I'm to understand, the game does not perform poorly like Zelda did. Remember, there was Zelda Age of Calamity Musu game a few years ago, and I was interested in playing it, and I played the demo, and it ran like shit on the Switch, and I said, I'm not spending $60 on this game when it runs like crap, so I never bought it. Well, apparently this game isn't perfect, but it does run a lot better on the Switch than that one did. So it's viable. Yes, there are frame rate drops and there's some choppiness, but it's not like, oh my god, you're down to like teen frame rate and you can't see shit, and it just generally is not an enjoyable time during combat. It's not the case with this one, okay? So, apparently, if you play the game like an RPG, which you would want to, it's a Fire Emblem game, why wouldn't you play it like an RPG and enjoy the content and do all the stories and everything? It could be about a 40-hour long game. A far cry from the 80-plus hours of Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's less than half of that, okay? At the same time, that's a pretty lengthy game to be committing to. So admittedly, I wouldn't have even wanted to start that game anyway until we beat Skyrim. All right? But here's what I will obviously now open the realm of possibility to you guys if this is a game that you guys would maybe want me to play. But here's the thing. I basically didn't talk about the game. I didn't play the game. Here we are. We're into the next week already after the game's release. Literally no one mentions this game on my streams. 0 people. Like, it's not even like someone came to me and said, hey, Phil, did you know you missed out on this game on Friday and you're interested and maybe you want to look into it? Like, no one has done that. Which leads me to believe that there just wasn't much interest, if any. Like, maybe people just didn't even know the game's out and don't really care. I remember with Fire Emblem Three Houses, all right? People were pissed that I didn't play it as a new release. Then they demanded it, and it became a viewer's choice playthrough that took a very long time to get through, okay? But people were very happy when I finally played it. Now, in this case, this was one that I skipped. Yes, this is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. That's what it's called. I purposely skipped it because it was a wait-and-see attitude. I wanted to see how people were going to react to the game and if they were going to want me to play it or not. Here we are. It came out Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 days have passed. No one's mentioned it. Okay? From what I've heard, it doesn't sound bad. Like, that doesn't sound bad to me. It sounds like it could be something interesting. It just feels like if we play it, you're definitely committing to a very a lengthy playthrough. So you have to have buy-in that people are going to want it. I don't think people really want it because they would have asked for it by now. Now, maybe that'll change because this is actually the first time that I'm mentioning it on my stream like this. Maybe now people will request it. I don't know. But even now, people are saying, nah, just skip it. Look, I'm not even kidding. In my stream chat right now, I'll be like, nah, just skip it. It's not a big deal. So there you go. Big Papa Phil wants it, though. All right, so now let's go through the release schedule. As I already mentioned on Thursday, the Cuphead, the Delicious Last Course DLC comes out. I hope I can play it out of the box. I don't know. I have to re-download Cuphead, and I have to see. In fact, you know what? What the fuck? We're on a pre-stream. We got time. Why don't I just do this right now? Why not? I mean, it'd be pretty stupid for me to... I mean, I'm sitting on the place right now, right? So I go here. The store won't load. I clicked it 100 times before it opened. So if I search for... If I search for Cuphead. Owned. And I download Cuphead. Install. Okay. I'm curious what's going to happen here. Oh, because you know why? Because the store is fucking updating. The store needed an update and didn't auto-do it. So, that's why it wouldn't even open. How stupid. Anyway. Alright. It says it's queued. Why is it queued? It's queued because the store wants to fucking update. Quit the store. It's still updating. You gotta be shitting me. I can't download Cuphead because the Microsoft Store is demanding to update first. If that makes any sense. It also claims it's updating, but it's not. Like, I'm looking at it. And it says, oh, it's updating, but it's not downloading the update. Yeah, I'm going to restart my console. I'm going to get to just redo everything. It's a piece of shit. It's not a piece of shit. I'm just being over-exaggerating. But anyway. So, I'll download it now, and we'll see if it works. And if not, I guess I'll have to figure this out. Okay? Okay. When do real new releases start coming out? Mid-July. July 19th, we've got Stray. That's the game starring the cute cat who goes around trying to sell on the street and stuff. And also, As Dusk Falls, the narrative-based choose-your-own-adventure game that's made by the same people who made Heavy Rain, and even has some of the same actors in it, which is kind of neat. Was that loud? I'm sorry. It was too loud. People are not deaf. Okay, so that's kind of cool, right? All right, because I restarted my console, it worked. Yeah, it was glitched and now it worked. Cool. All right, so we got 2 games coming out July 19th. That's it. I'm not even kidding. That's it for all of July. There is nothing else going on in July but those 2 games. Now, that could change. But as of now, that's literally the only stuff going on. July is completely fucking dead. So this is what I mean. Like, July would be a great month for me to be doing a lot of special projects. Do an RPG, do a viewer's choice or 2 gameplay, do some other retro stuff. Now is the opportunity. Because August will be much more heavy. It's actually the second half of August. There's a game that comes out, 2 Point Campus, on August 9th. I'm interested in it because I never played a 2 Point game before, and this one's coming out as a new release on Game Pass. So that one I'm interested in checking out. Outside of that, here's when all the new games start coming out. Listen to this. Ready? Saints Row 3, August 23rd. Midnight Fight Express, August 23rd. Pac-Man World Repack, August 26th. Destroy All Humans 2 Remake, August 30th. Splatoon 3, September 9th. Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, September 13th. Midnight Suns, October 7th. Forspoken, October 12th. A Plague Tale Requiem, October 18th. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, October 20th. Scorn, October 21st. Gotham Knights, October 25th. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, October 28th. And then there's nothing apparently in November. Okay. And then December, Callisto Protocol, December 2nd. Stalker 2, December 8th, unless it gets delayed. Dragon Quest Treasures, December 9th. This was one that was actually announced today on that Nintendo Direct Mini. Apparently what it is kind of like a watered-down version of Dragon Quest. You actually capture or recruit monsters. And those monsters actually team up with you. Like, you control them. Manage game and add-on. Save data, 1. All it has is a reserved space? Okay, we're gonna do something live. We're gonna do something different. I'm gonna see. We boot up Cuphead. Here we are. Is this gonna find a way to load my cloud save? Or do I have to start the whole fucking game over? Let's see. Start or options? Oh, it saved it. There it is. Look. 98%. We're good to go. This is pretty crazy. In regards to Microsoft consoles, this is so seamless, it's amazing. So, I didn't play this game since it was new in 2017, okay? It saved my file, and it's already in there. So I don't even need to do anything. My save file is carried over from my Xbox to my Xbox Series X. I don't have to do any work. Cool. Well, that's exciting and new, and I don't have to redo shit now. That's excellent. That's a little demo I wanted to try to figure out, and it seems like Microsoft is on the ball, man. They're on the ball, so that's good. Now we know I don't have to replay the whole game to play the DLC on Thursday. Okay. All right. Um. So yeah, so that is the rough release schedule for the year. It looks like October is insanely busy, but outside of that, like July is empty except for 2 games, Stray and As Dusk Falls. Outside of that, there's nothing else in July. So July is going to be us basically doing an old school RPG of some sort, either Earthbound or Final Fantasy VII, maybe both. We'll see. It's going to be us doing a player's choice playthrough. Whatever wins. Right now, Zelda 2's in the lead, but Batman Arkham Asylum as well as Fable Anniversary are right behind it. Maybe 2. We might do 2 viewers' choice playthroughs. Okay? It's going to be me finishing up Sonic Origins, me finishing up Castlevania Anniversary Collection, me playing more Capcom Fighting Collection. Okay? So there's a good variety of stuff coming up here. Stalker 2 was delayed. Okay. Pokemon Scarlet Violet comes out November 18th. I will add that. Thank you. Because I didn't have the date for that. November 18th, right? Thank you. That has been added to my list. Cool. All right. So, it's going to be an interesting summer, but man, I hope you guys are ready for retro stuff. I hope you guys are ready for viewer's choice, for a fun React marathon. You know, we got to do variety of stuff because there's just no new releases. And, you know, when the new releases come out, great. They'll probably last about a week, week and a half. But do you really think a narrative-based game is going to take more than a couple streams to beat? Stray, we don't know. We don't know much about it, you know. So, all right. Let's get to shout-outs. This is going to be quick because we have almost no contributions today, all right? We start off with Spider Dijon. Is that what that says? Spider Dijon re-upped their membership this morning. Thank you to Spider Dijon for the re-upping of the membership and the ongoing channel support. We have one tip from Snow Carl. He tipped $1.50, and here's what he said. I watched the reaction you made for Slayer. I was wondering if every patron supporter gets the same effort and quality. I can submit any kind of video for you to react to. Can you expand on what you offer in terms of personalization? I'm interested. This is, seriously, it baffles me. It baffles me that the internet is like surprised at this. Ever since I opened my Patreon in 2015, all right, this has always been available at the $50 level. If you pledge $50 or more to my Patreon, okay, you get a private video. Now, previously, I had called it a private Q&A video because that's what people usually wanted. They didn't care about me talking about reacting to shit and dumb shit. They just wanted me to answer questions, all right? So it always was that. And I always said, this video can range and vary in length, anywhere from 15 to roughly 30 minutes long. I'm not going to go longer than 30 minutes. That's a lot of time. And it could be any topics that aren't considered private or harmful. You know, you want to ask me about stuff going on with the streams, gaming, my life, that's not personal and you know, could be hurtful if made public. Go right for it, okay? Basically, you're buying my time a little bit, all right? You're buying a little bit of my time for this Patreon pledge. Fair enough? It's funny because over the years, people have said, oh, why don't you do a cameo? I'm like, I do private videos. I don't get it. I've been doing this since I was doing private videos before Cameo fucking existed. And people act like, oh, why don't you do Cameo? I'm like, what are you talking about? I do it. How do you not fucking know this? It's been on my Patreon since day one. 7 fucking years. Anyway. In this particular case, viewer going by Slayer, who is a supporter of mine, was interested because they were intrigued by me reacting to some content recently. They saw me reacting to Down the Rabbit Hole videos. They saw me reacting to, the John Howard video, and also that documentary about that Final Fantasy house or whatever. And I guess Slayer is a fan of K-pop. So he says, would you be able to react to some K-pop music? And I was like, well, here's the thing. I got to be careful about it. I got to make sure that if I do something like this, it doesn't negatively affect me or my channels. I can't be making this video and all of a sudden I get copyright strikes, all right? So basically we talked about it back and forth a little bit. I was like, well, if I'm going to react to anything like that, I basically got to try to make it so that, you know, number one, I can't do it on DSPGaming. I'd be an asshole, right? Luckily, I have other channels on YouTube that I just don't use anymore. They're kind of defunct. So it's good that I have these backup channels and things to do in case something goes wrong. So I said, well, we'll try to. It's the first time really trying to do it. I'll try to reverse the video, see if that does anything. I'll try to make the volume kind of low, see if that does anything. So basically, he sent me a few K-pop music videos to do, okay? Now, each video was like 3 minutes long, so you figure you do the math, 4 of them would be like, 15 minutes. It made sense. However, the setup, and in addition, the transitioning between them and talking about them, it ends up being almost a half an hour, like, video, okay? Now, let me tell you something. This was seriously, like, the cursed project. This is the first time I was like, oh, I'll do something instead of just like a Q&A video, I'm doing like a react video. Let's see how it goes. So the first time I go to make this video, all right, I set time to do it and everything. I had a stream where I was ending, and I said, oh, I have some extra time. I can actually sit down and work on this. I was actually excited to do it because it was something different. I was curious. I don't know much or anything about K-pop. I was like, oh, we'll see how this goes, right? So I watched the videos. I'm intrigued. The first time I do it, I'm like, wow, I'd never seen anything. The cinematography actually interested me. I was like, wow, they actually make it look like a horror movie, one of them. Another one looked like it was like gods and goddesses and stuff dancing around. I was like, this is unique. It's interesting. This is like, almost like a culture shock to me. Because all I remember is from the 1990s when I used to watch pop videos on MTV and shit. They didn't look anything like this, okay? So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty interesting, okay? So I watch these videos, and I record the whole thing, all right? It's about 25 minutes long by the time it ends. I'm like, all right, let me go to upload this. And I go to upload it, and it won't work. It's freezing. I'm like, why is it not uploading? I go to play the video, the fucking video corrupted. What the fuck? Like, of all things to corrupt, I don't have a backup for this because I'm not streaming it. So I'm like, this sucks, right? What am I going to do now? Well, now I got to do it all over again. But I don't have time to do it now. So sadly, I had to contact Slayer, and I'm like, hey, man, this sucks that this happened. I got to redo it for you. And it sucks because it's not going to be my first time honest reaction because I've already seen the fucking videos. This kind of stinks. But he was very understanding. He's like, all right, whenever you can do it, let me know. So I spent time later on, basically almost a full week later. I set aside more time between my streams to do this, okay? So I sit down to do it again, and I go to do it, and I start filming it. I do the whole thing, all right? Cool. I go over to check on it. My microphone malfunctioned 10 minutes into it. So 10 minutes has full commentary, and the second 15 minutes has no fucking commentary. At this point, I'm like, this is like seriously like there's the cursed video, or like something like there's conspiring circumstances here. They really don't want me to make it. I don't understand what's going on. Is there a ghost in my fucking house? Is there a K-pop ghost in my house that doesn't want me to react to K-pop? I don't understand what's going on. So I had to film the video 3 fucking times. So this was supposed to be 20 to 25 minutes of work. Ended up being about 90 plus minutes of work to get this done. Now, this is not Slayer's fault, and I'm not holding it against him. It was just like bad luck after bad luck after bad luck, right? What are you going to do? It's the story of my fucking life, right? Now, anyway, just so you guys know, if you pledge $50 or more to my Patreon, whatever video I make for you is now your property. You're able to do with it whatever you want. Once I provide you with the link to that video, you can download it, you can re-upload it, you can edit it, you can share it, you can do whatever. I don't care. It's your property. You bought it. You bought it with your Patreon pledge. So that's your property now. All right? So I guess what happened was Slayer decided to download and upload it to his one of his channels or whatever. Good for him. I guess he was sharing the link with people, and people were leaving comments on it and stuff. The thing is, a lot of it is my detractors. And it's hilarious because I guess these detractors eat up any content possible on the internet. They go crazy for any kind of content that's dark side Phil. So to them, I guess they feel this is like hidden content. It's not hidden. This is something I've literally done this for years and years and years. Anyone can buy a private video on my Patreon. It's always been available. I've made, no exaggeration, probably about 100 private videos since the inception of my Patreon. Okay? It's not often these days, because most people now come and pledge on my streams. They contribute to the stream. They want to shout out on the stream. But back in the day when I first started on Patreon, I was pumping out a dozen of these a month in some cases, you know? Most people never shared them, you see? And that's the thing, like, most people never shared that content because it was private to them. In this case, I guess Slayer decided he wanted to upload it, and that's his right. He bought the video. There's nothing wrong with that. If you look, I'm never going to, in any of these private videos, this is not secret information. I'm not going to be revealing, like I said, I'm not going to be revealing private information, harmful information. You're not going to see me saying things, oh, don't tell anyone I said this in the video. No, those videos are meant to be public knowledge if you want to have it be, or you can keep it for yourself. It's totally up to you. You bought that product, you know? So there you go. Anyone who pledges $50 to my Patreon can purchase my time, and I'll make a video for you. If you want me to just answer questions or talk about a certain subject matter, I will. It's funny because sometimes people didn't do really like Q&A. What they said is, Phil, I've always wondered, I wanted to hear a story about this from your past. Can you tell that story? And I sat here for 20 minutes. I told the story. That was their video. In some cases, it's a series of questions that they hit me with, and I answer all those questions. This was just a certain situation where someone actually wanted me to react to some kind of content, and I did it. I enjoyed it. Personally, I really enjoyed it. I just wish that it didn't fucking take up so much of my time, 90 minutes instead of 30. And again, that's not on Slayer at all. That's in any way, shape, or form. That's my fucking stupid setup here malfunctioned twice. You know? That's, you know. So, there you go. That's always been there. If anyone's interested, patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. You pledge $50, you can get a private video. Now understand, the private video has to be within reason. Nothing private, nothing that's secret information that could harm me and my family. No, I'm not doing stunts and shit like that. It's me sitting here with my setup, recording something for you. Whether you want me to talk about a subject, answer questions, react to something, I'm down for that. That's okay. Okay? But I'm not doing anything stupid. This is not, oh, pay Phil $50 to eat hot sauce. That's not happening. This is me doing stuff with my setup, making a private video for you. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. There you go. That's why I don't know why this is like shocking to my detractors. They get wind. Oh, there's a video that Phil didn't upload to one of his channels that's on the internet now. Oh my God, it's like the biggest news of the day. Everyone has to go, and it's hilarious because everyone who's ever been banned from my channel is commenting on the video. PW Dubs is over there and everything. Ah, yeah, you fucking idiot. It's a year later. You've already been banned for a year. You're still fucking over there. You fucking idiot, man. But anyway, that's the deal. That's how it's, and again, this is not anything new. I don't know how people are like shocked at this content that I didn't know that existed. It's existed since day one. 7 years it could have been. I swear to God, like, people are just like deaf or something. Like I used to talk about my Patreon all the time. Remember? I used to plug my Patreon all the time here on my streams. I would say it's a great way for you to have direct interaction with me, to have me make private content for you. It's up to you if you want to, share it. But I like the fact that it gives me an opportunity to take some time out to actually talk with my fans and viewers, and answer your questions that maybe you didn't get answered on like a show like Ask the King, or maybe you're trying to get a better answer than a quick answer that I gave on a stream because I only had like a minute to answer. That's the whole purpose of it. And it blows me away that people don't understand that this has existed forever. So anyway, there you go. There's your answer, Snow Carl. Thank you for the tip. Okay. Can it be political? Here's the thing. If it's a generalized question about something, okay, then maybe yes. But Phil, what's your stance on abortion? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm a content creator here. I stay in my lane. I play games. I'm not going to be standing on soapboxes screaming to the internet about shit like that. I'm not doing that because that's sadly... Here, let me put it this way. If the world was more mature, I probably would do stuff like that. Okay? The problem is the world is not mature. The world is way too much black and white. You know, you're either with me or against me, good, evil. That's not how the world works. The world is many shades of gray, and you can see things from many different perspectives, and that's kind of how I see a lot of political issues, okay? So, if I were able to easily say stuff politically and not have a giant backlash, I probably would. The problem is you can't do that. You say one word, oh my God, well, since Phil has this particular political stance and I disagree with it, I can never watch any of his pieces of content ever again, despite the fact that that political stance has nothing whatsoever to do with the content that he puts out on a daily basis. Video games, gaming news, chilling with him in a gaming environment. Oh, but, you know, there's a political issue I disagree with him on, so that's it. That's the end of that. No, that's why I'm not going to do that, okay? So that's what I mean. There's always going to be certain things that are going to be off limits, and please understand that. You know, politics, religion, private things about my family and stuff like that that's harmful, I can't talk about that. But everyone knows that. I've already said that on my streams too. It's fair game, right? Okay. All right, guys. So we got a little bit of extra time. If anyone has a question, I'm down. If anyone has a contribution, that'd be great. Considering we have one contribution on the stream so far today. Mango, I've already laid down the subject matter, so you already know the deal. If people start throwing money for no good reason and asking for unreasonable things, I mean, they're going to look really stupid, don't you think? No, I'm not going to read erotic stories for $50. That's what I mean. If you're an idiot, you're not going to get what you want. If you're an idiot, I'm going to make you a stupid video. If you pledge $50 to read an erotic story, I'm going to read a story about a ham sandwich for you, okay? It's going to be the most interesting, detailed ham sandwich you've ever heard of. I'm going to describe every piece of, every grain of the bread. I'm going to describe as the mayo is slathered on the bread. I'm going to tell you about the holes in the cheese. It's going to be a really descriptive 20-minute video about a ham sandwich. That's what you're going to get. Okay? Listen to this question. Do you look down at your drain or up at your ceiling when you rinse the shampoo out of your hair? Well, in my experience, the best way to rinse your hair is that you turn your back to the shower head, okay? And then you lift your head backwards like this, so the shower head is hitting directly on your hair only, and it drains the suds out of your hair, and you writhe it like this and get the suds out of your hair. If you do it forward, you're literally putting all the soap and suds is coming down on your face. Why would you do, and you're probably not even reaching the back of your neck. Why would you do it like that? It's hilarious. That's the girl's way? No, that's called the smart way. Why the fuck would you do it the other way? Oh, I love rinsing the soap out of my hair, putting it right into my fucking eyeballs. That's a really genius move. Right? I love it. When all that shampoo goes right down into my, oh yeah! Oh, my eyes are nice and bloodshot and burning. Oh, it feels so good. What a stupid thing to say. Anyway. Mango, I've heard of Escape from Tarkov. I've never played. You can stop asking now. Oh my God. Yes, I'm definitely terrified of the upcoming recession. I'm terrified. All my investments are going to go south, man. Let me tell you. All those very valuable investments, I'm going to lose everything. Yes, I did play Metro Exodus, and I did play Days Gone. Both playthroughs are live here on DSPGaming. Greg, I had an okay morning. Yeah, it's a typical morning, nothing special. Nothing bad happened, and it was much cooler. It's much cooler today than it's been, so that's a good thing. Good day to you guys. No, you can't get a playthrough with an old camcorder because it doesn't. I don't have any of that stuff anymore. I didn't used to record with a camcorder. I recorded with a digital camera, a Sony. I showed it many, many times over the years. But the one that I use to record, I use so much that it's all broken and worn out. It barely does it. It barely worked, and that was years and years ago. It barely worked. Excuse me. I bought a replacement at one point, but then I stopped using those cameras entirely, and I started doing direct capture stuff. And since then, I don't have any cameras anymore. I used to have a camcorder that I used to film DSP Tries It with. I don't even know where it is. I haven't used it in so many years. I have no clue where it is. It might be somewhere in the house. It might not. The camcorder sucked, by the way. It was a cheap one. It was very low quality. The lighting, the color was off. It was blurry. It wasn't a good camcorder. What's the refund policy I offer? No refunds. Ever. In any case. 0 refunds available. So if you fuck up and you do something stupid and you send me your money, that's on you. Sorry about that. Absolutely. Non-negotiable, non-transferable, non-refundable, caution, flammable. Buyer beware, you're in for a scare. There you go. There you go. Thanks for the money, you big fat dummy. Yeah! There you go, I said it. Very nice. Oh my god. You guys are something else, man. You guys are really something else. So now that's going to be clipped endlessly. Thanks for the money, you big fat dummy. I should just say it every day, all day, and then people it won't be interesting anymore. No refunds, unlike Cyberpunk. That is correct, because unlike Cyberpunk, I did not give you guys unrealistic expectations. I did not overpromise and underdeliver. I gave you a very reasonable expectation of what you can expect in a private video. So therefore, if you ask for something stupid and you receive something stupid in return, that's on you. Cyberpunk is good now. I don't believe that. Why is Review Tech obsessed with me? I honestly have no idea. I think what it is whenever the guy is bored as shit and there's just nothing to talk about, he feels like doing React content to my detractors talking about me is somehow like entertaining to his audience, I guess. Again, I've talked about this before. What's hilarious is this guy literally has the same kind of shit thrown at him that they throw at me, but he pretends like he's not self-aware or something. So he, I could easily sit here and do a React stream to his shit, all the shit people have said about him. Just the other day, I was just on YouTube, minding my own business, and I see a video in my related, Review Tech USA yelled at by his wife, told he's a deadbeat dad. It's not like the shit's not there for him too. You know what I mean? But I don't do that stuff. I could easily right now say, fuck Sonic Origins. Let's do a 3-hour stream reacting to negative shit about Rich. That would be a really great, valuable, fun stream that would make me money, right? But I'm not going to do that. That's just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't do that toxic shit. It's stupid. There's no value to it. All you're doing is you're beating up people for no reason. But he does it to me all the time. He thinks it's funny, I'll just do it. Whenever I'm bored and I don't feel like working today, I want to make a buck, I'll just make fun of Darkside Phil for like 2.5 hours on a stream. Okay, Rich, thanks. That's really the cream of the crop. They say the cream rises to the top. You're right there. You're floating right at the top with all those primo content creators when you put out that stuff, The funniest part about all of it is he doesn't even know how to spell my name. He spells my name wrong in the videos. Like, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, he has some kind of obsession with me because I think he sees it as a free payday. He says, whenever I make, I won't talk about Phil for a while, but then when I'm bored and I have nothing to do, but I want to make some money today, I'll go to the bottom of the barrel and I'll just bring up some Detractor shit about him and watch it, and then I'll make money. Good for him. Anyway. We got a couple super chats that came in. Hold on. King did a $2 super chat. Are you down to grow out a beard? No. I've already explained a million times why I don't want to grow my beard out. I don't like it. In fact, today I'm shaving. This is like the limit of what I can do. It starts bothering me. It's too long. I'm going to shave today. Brandon, thank you for a $1 super chat. Let's get Brandon up on the leaderboard as the latest super chatter. Thank you for that, Brandon. All right, guys. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get back into Sonic 2. Like I said, now all we got to do is beat Sonic 2. I already got all the emeralds. So we can actually just focus on progress. And I guess the new stage. Apparently the new stage that's in the Mystic Cave Zone or whatever. I got to try to find out, right? All right. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get the show on the road. Very nice.